Eleh Pekudei Hamishkan Chulu Yalkut. So these are the countings of the Mishkan. In Yalkut it says, Rem is Taf Kuf Beis, B'Mishlei Kaf Ches. It brings from Mishlei, Al Pasuk Ish Emunos Rav Brachos, that a person of many trusts, that he is trustworthy in many ways, Rav Brachos. So he has many blessings. Ish Emunos Ze Moshe, who is the trustworthy person? This refers to Moshe, Shnei B'chol Beis Neman, who it says, in all my house, in my whole house, he is trustworthy. Yeah, call it Dvarim Shnase Gizbar Aleim B'Melachas Hamishkan, that anything that Moshe was appointed to in building the Mishkan, Hayom Misbarchos Al Yado, they were blessed through his hands, Chulu, and so forth. Yishlomo Shebov Al Yado Nimshech Bracha, that we can say that through him and in him was drawn down a blessing, even in something that's measured and counted. He brought this before in the other Mamar from Zohar HaKadosh in Daf Reish Chaf Gimel. A similar idea. B'Shalah, Shara Osios, in Shalah, it says, Oznun Neman Ruach, it brings out Moshe was trustworthy. So, Kishigamar Melechas Hamishkan, that when was finished the working on the Mishkan, Amar Lehen Yisrael, so he said to Yisrael, Bov, Nasa Cheshbon Lifnechem Chulu, come, let's make a counting in front of you. Eleh Pekudei Mishkan Chulu. These are the countings of the Mishkan. So the here we're dorish that the Pekudei of the Mishkan, or the accountings of the Mishkan, because of Moshe's trustworthiness, so he counts it all in front of everybody. But Parshas Truma Shin Chaf Daled Beis B'Shem Tanchuma. So further in the Shalah, he brings the Tanchuma. V'lama Mishkan Shakol Keneged Shemayim V'Aretz. So what does the Mishkan compare with, or what does it weigh against the heavens and the earth? Eleh Ma Shemayim V'Aretz Hem Edim Al Yisrael. That just like the heavens and the earth testify about Israel, like it says in Hazinu, that I make a testimony today, testify today in front of you. Today, I make testify today the heavens and the earth. And look in the Kutei Torah. Af Mishkan Edus L'Yisrael, so too the Mishkan, just like the heavens and the earth, is also testifies about Israel. Shneimar Eleh Pekudei Mishkan HaEdus, that these are the countings of the Mishkan of testimony, that they testify to Israel, just like the heavens and the earth. They're witnesses. And in the Kutei Torah it also explains with the concept of Edus L'Yisrael, a testimony for Israel. Reish Parshas Shmini, further in the Shalah, in Parshas Shmini B'Yom Hakim Hamishkan, on the day that Mishkan was lifted up, Hukam Hamishkan Shalamayla. So the Mishkan above was also established. Kizelu Mazeh, because one is opposite the other. One is opposite the other. Al King Siva Mishkan HaEdus. That's why it says that there's a Mishkan and a Mishkan of testimony. That there's two Mishkans, one above and one below. The Chayef it's Hanister Benigle. And the desire of the hidden is within the revealed. Like it's brought in the measure that Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, that he desired to have a dwelling place in amongst the lower realms, just like in the upper realms. So in the Dira B'Tachtonim, it corresponds. That's the Mishkan below, and the Dirabelyonim, that's the Mishkan above. B'Megalei Amukos. So in the Megalei Amukos it brings Eleh Pekudei Minyan Reish Lamed Vav Shir Koma. The Eleh Pekudei is gematria of 236, which is the Alafim Ravavos Parsos. That's the Shir Koma, the that's the height of the standing up of the works of creation, the 236,000 miles or parsas. We can also awaken to what's brought in the Zohar Vayetze, Daf Kuf Mem Ches Amud Beis, Chayecha afilu b'manin dili lo ishtamish ela b'manin dilach. That Hashem says that on part of my life, I'm not going to even use my own vessels, but I'm going to use your vessels, manin dili, em kelim de atzilos, that my vessels, those are the vessels of the world of atzilos, manin dilach, em kelim de biyah, and your vessels, those are the vessels of the lower world, abriya yitzira and asiya, perish kelim de atzilos. And that is to say that the vessels of Atzilus im Atzman Bligvul, they are in their an infinite concept, but they are the ability to draw down into the finite. That they, so to speak, complete the infinite ability that should also come from the infinite affinity. So if so, the ability to shine into the finite, that those are the vessels of Atzilus. If so, the vessels of Atzilus itself are infinite. Only that they're the source to shine into the lower realms of the lower worlds of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya, Bechinas Gvul, which are the concept of the finite. And this is the measure of the standing up of the world of the works of creation. 236 and Makelim de Atzilus, that corresponds with the vessels of Atzilus. Shemakor lahayir bebechinas gvul, that they're the source to shine into the infinite, into the finite. Reish lamed vav alafim chulu, which is something measured. The 236,000s and so forth is a measurement of the worlds of Biyah. Reish lamed vav hem hagvul hanimshach mehen bekelim de Biyah, or the 236 are the affinity that's drawn into the vessels of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya. And in Tanya, in the letter of Iu V'Chayoy, Mashma Akelim Datzilos Gam Kim Bechinas Gvul. So not like in the Megala Mukos that implies that the vessels of Atzilus are infinite, but because the affinity is coming from them, but they themselves are infinite. In Iu V'Chayoy it implies that the vessels themselves are finite. That is to say, that they are the concept that the infinite light shines in a finite way. Those are the vessels. And in Me'ore Or it explains Shemos Av Sagmaban. What's this 236? That corresponds with the four names of the four spellings of Hashem's name, of Sagma Ban, Vidalid Kolalim, plus 4 kolels, one for each name, and that comes out to 236. And look in the Mamar about what the Miloi mean to explain these names. That the concept of Miloi is a concept of revealing the name. Like when Vav comes to be revealed, so you have another Vav, so you say Vav, and that's how you spell Vav. and meaning to say that the vav comes to a revealed state. And look what's brought and the explanation in the Bira of Vishavsa. Now this concept of 236, this is in the world of Yitzira Kamaimer, Shiur Ko, Mashal Yotzer Bereshis. Like it says that this is the measure of the standing up of the works of creation of the Yotzer Bereshis, specifically the word Yotzer is Yitzira. Vuzir Anpin Datzilos, and this corresponding with the world of Yitzira is Zir Anpin. I'm sorry, Zir Anpin Yitzira. That's the concept of Zir Anpin of Yitzira. Validei Hamishkan Shalamata, and through the Mishkan below, Hu Kama Mishkan. The Matat, this established the Mishkan of the Malach Matat. Shuhu Yitzira, which corresponds in general to Yitzira. Eleh Pekudei Gematria Reish Lamed Vav. So, if you have a Mishkan above and a Mishkan below, and the Mishkan above it corresponds with Matat, which is Yitzira. So Eleh Pekudei, that's why Eleh Pekudei of the Mishkan below is Gematria Reish Lamed Vav. That's the Shizu Ko Mashal Yotzer Bereshis that corresponds with the measure of the works of creation. B'Megale Amukos Sham Okeof and Kuf Samechtes. Further in the Megale Amukos, Kior Gematria Reish Lamed Vav. That Kior is also the Gematria of 236. V'chein Havaya Kanani. So to Hashem has established me, Rishis Darko and so forth. So the words Havaya Kanani is Gematria Reish Lamed Vav, also 236. So to the Miloi of the word, the letters of the word Mishkan also comes out to 236. So Kior, Hashem Kanani, and Mishkan. Kedem Mifal of Miaz. So to continue Hashem, the pasuk of Hashem Kanani, Mifal of Gamkein, Reish Lamed Vav. So the word from before, his acts from then. So the word his acts Mifal of. His causations. So that's also Gematria 236. Ki Atzumo said Devaro. To in the pasuk that the awesome, the many that complete his who do his commands, his words. Ki Atzum Gamkin Rishlam Devav. That the word Ki Atzum, that because many, also corresponds with 236. V'chein bar levav. So to the word pure of heart is also 236. V'od sham, and further there. So I don't know how to connect all these concepts, but you have the concept of, again, Kior, Hashem Kanani, the Miloi of Mishkan, Mifalav, Ki Atzum, and Bar Levav. So too you have another concept of 236 in the name of Avaya, V'chim b'shem Elokim, V'chim b'shem Ehyeh. So you have also in the name of Elokim and also in the name of Ehyeh. You have 236 V'chein Be'alucho. So too in the tablets of the 10 Commandments of Shalomar, we can say Ben Yonah Shlam Vav. What's this concept of 236 Ki al derech komamius? Like the concept of standing up in a double way, Masayim, that 200. What's 200? Eser Sfiros Tezon Haklolim Yud. That corresponds with the 10 spheres of Za and Nukva. Each one has 10. So you have Za and Nukva, the masculine and the feminine aspect. And so each one has 10 times 10. So that's 200. Inami, we could say Yud bimiluo esrim. That Yud in its Miloi is 20. V'chol b'china kolom Yud, and each one of them Of course, is each one of these the concepts within Yud also includes 10. So that's 200. Inami, or you could say Bekeser Beis Bechinos. That in the concept of the crown, you have two ideas. We call Echad Kol Miyud, and each one has 10 included in it. So that's 10 times 10 again. Is 100 times in two ideas in Kesser, so that's 200. And look what it's brought in Prietz Chaim about the sukkah, sukkah that's higher than 20 as well. Perish Gamkein Shemesrim Spheros the Zon, that also explains there the 20 spheros of the Zon Nukva together. So again, that would be 200. And so perhaps you have the sukkah corresponding with the Shiur Koma Yotzei Bereshis, or at least the Reish. And look what's brought on what it says, that the shekel is 20 gera, which is the 2 parts of Keser, and how you have half of it is 10. Vinyan Lamed Vav, so that's the 200. What about the 36? Hainu Beis Pamim Chai, that's 2 times Chai, 2 times 18. Kamoshikasu Chai Chai Hu Yudecha, like Chizkiyahu said in his Tefillah. In Yeshaya Lamed Ches Yutes, that the one who's alive, he will acknowledge you and thank you and praise you for healing him from his sickness. So there, anyways, you have two concepts, two chais, and that which is 36. And so it says in the Emek HaMelech, Shar Abba V'Ima, Perek Mem Beis, Deitz Chaim, Mamar Chai Chai Hem Beis Yisodos Abba V'Ima Chulu, that these two concepts of Chai correspond with the two Yisods of the mother and the father. So you have Chai in general corresponds with Yisod, and Chai corresponds with Yisod of Abba and Yisod of Ima. So if the Reish corresponds with Zon, so the Lamed Vav corresponds with Abba and Ima. Ayin Sham, and also, like we said, he also brought Keser, that it corresponds with the Reish, also correspond with Keser. Ayin Sham Sharish Deza Perek Gimel Daf Kuf Lamed Beis V'Lanias Taiti Shlomar. And we can say in the Tzemach Tzedek says, we could say Chai al derech Beis Pamim ben Poras Yosef. Like it says ben Poras Yosef ben Poras Aliyayin, so it says 2 times Yosef. She Yisod the Ziranpin, Yisod the Abba. So that's Yisod of Zohar, Yisod of Abba. So you have two concepts of Yisod of Yosef. Imkein Chai Beis Pamim Yichud. So if you have the two concepts of the masculine aspect, Yisod of Abba and Yisod of Zohar, so that's two concepts of Yichud. And Yichud Yud Kei Yichud Vav Kei Chulu, so that's Yichud above of Yud Kei, and the Yichud below of Vav Kei. Inami, or you could say Al Derech Yachid Chei Olam Melech, that we say that he's alone, the life of the worlds, a king. And afterwards we say the king who's alone, the life of the worlds. That's to say, you draw down the life force into the world of Atzilos, and afterwards you draw it down into the lower worlds of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya. So that's the difference between Yachid Chei Olamim and Melech Yachid. And further look in this concept of Chai, which is half of Lamed Vav, and Me'orei Or, and look what it's brought about, that a person does them, and Chai Behem. So also you have a concept of Chai, that is to say, Shiasa mitzvahs v'chayis v'simcha. What does it mean, Chai Behem? That you should do the mitzvahs with joy and life. Because the dead do not praise Hashem, rather you have to do it b'simcha and with life. That the mitzvahs are 248 commandments, 248 limbs of the king, Shiur, that's also a concept of the measure of creation. Like it's also brought in the Megalei Amukos, Vimkain, Perush Kol Mi Shiudea Shiur Koma. So the explanation of anybody who knows the measure of creation, Hainu, that is to say, Haderach Mashal, for example, Binyan Shiur Koma, in the building, you have the measure of the building, Aliyam Shachas, or the building here with the works of creation, through drawing up the 10 spheres from below to above, through prayer, and from above to below, through Torah, Yud, and that's 10 times 10 base pamim, that corresponds with the 200. So you have the 10 spheres above, from above to below, and from below to above. That's 10 times 10. Two times is 200. And in each one of these concepts, in the Torah and the Tefillah, you have to have the simcha and the life, the lebedikite. So that's the 2 times chai is lamed vav. So zehu beis pamim chai or reish lamed vav. So that's the 236. Which is the measure of creation. And this is the 18 blessings of the prayers of Shemon Esrei, corresponds with the 18 parts of the spine. So to in Shema, you have 18 times you mention Hashem's name. And so too through Torah, you have a concept of 18. Vav in the Kadosh, the 3, the Kadosh. So you have 3 Vavs. Haim, Chai, that's also Chai. Also 18, 6 times 3. That's each Kadosh, the concept of the Vav is drawing down from the Kodesh, from the holy, downwards. Kinor Dilasi Lavo Shel Yudnimin. So you have this concept of the harp of the time to come is going to have 10 strings. Hainulasi Lavo Yiskalo Eser Sfiros. That is to say, in the time to come will be revealed the 10 spheros, and that's the concept. I will conduct you with a double standing up, mea amma. That is 100 ammas. Ainu eser spheros. That is the 10 spheros. Yud kolom yud. 10. That includes 10. So the komamius here is simply the measure of the 10 spheros, 10 times 10. So now we've seemingly moved away from the concept of the 200 and the komamius, and we're explaining komamius simply as the concept of 10 spheros and the kinor of the time to come. Or maybe he's simply quoting, he's continuing the quote of the Megalei Amukos. Vayim b'sefer Hadaras Melech Daf Ayin Tes Amud Aleph Perush Masayim. So now he's bringing from the Hadaras Melech Perush Masayim. So it says, what is 200? Chachma Bina Kol Echad Kol Yod. Now the 200 here corresponds with Chachma Bina. Each one includes 10, so that's 200. V'sham Perush, and the Sefer Hadaras Melech explains Shemos Yos Yudke, that corresponds with the letters Yudke. Nimtza Lefi Zef Shalom Shiur Komodei Shlamid Vav Hainu Reish Bechinas Yud K. So we can say the measure of the works of creation, so the 236, so the 200 corresponds with Yud K, Lamed Vav, Membechinas Vav, Shiur Vav, Pamim Vav, and Lamed Vav corresponds with Zer Anpid, which corresponds the concept of the Vav, or the Vav of Hashem's name. If the 200 is Yud K of Hashem's name, the Lamed Vav is the Vav of Hashem's name, which is the 6 times 6, Vav times Vav. Vav Vamim Vav, Imkain, that's 36. Vimkain Hem Gimel, Osios Yud K Vav, so that's the 3 letters of Hashem's name, Yud K Vav. Vubichin is Zer Anpin, so that's going to be the concept of Za. Ve'akron Nahi Malchus. So the Yud K Vav here corresponds in general with Za, even though we said Yud K is Chachma Bina, but in general Yud K Vav here could be Za, and the last Hey is Malchus. If Shalom Shiklola Behavav, Besod Oshid Psila Barchul, we could also say that's included with the Vav, that he takes a step outside, and so forth. Chulu If Shalom Gamkin Vav. So the concept of Yisod is that you have the 5 concepts of Begufa, and the Yisod, the Vav, is Labar Begufa, that it's a concept of Psi Labar, taking a step outside of the inner into the outer. So that's the Vav. So Malchus is included of the Vav. So you have the you could say that the Vav includes both Zoh and Malchus. We have Shalom or Gamkein, Vav Zewet Hadas. Further, you could say if the Yud K, the 200, is Chachma Bina, and the Vav, it corresponds with the 36, so that's going to be Das. So you have Chachma Bina Das, Yud K Vav, V'kemoshkaz of Ki Deos, V'lo Niskanu. So like it says, that he is a divinity of knowledges, and to him are established alilos, wonders, so or the actions. And so the word velo niskanu, so keldeos velo, so we have the concept of the word velo, and to him, which is gematria 36, next to the concept of deos, of das. So you have the vav corresponding with the das, shumakor hashisha midos. And the reason is because das is the source of the 6 emotional attributes of Za. If so, according to this, Reish Lamed Vav Hem Gimel Mochn Chabad, so the 236 correspond with the 3 intellectual spheres of Chachma Bina Das, V'Nexi V'Yasim Adam V'Yishach Adam Yashpel Ish. Now it's the pasuk in Yeshayahu that a person will be lowered, will be brought down, and the man will be lowered. Kivyachol afamim gormim shiflus l'sonav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you have sometimes when we cause to have a lowering to the enemies of the Holy One, blessed be He, which is euphemism for Israel. That atim kurim adam. So you have a concept of the Shiur koma that's lowered chas v'shalom. Eleh Pekudei Hamishkan. So then you have, when you have the Pekudei Hamishkan mamshichim Shiur koma, and you hukam Hamishkan, so you have the countings of the Mishkan, which is the 236. So that draws down the measure of standing of the work of creation. Then you have the lowering of the Sitra Achra. So Vishach Adam Vishpal Ish, we can cause the lowering of the enemies of Israel, perhaps directly, meaning the enemies of Israel, the Sitra Achra, that you have Rish Lamed Vav, the Shiur Goma, that lowers down the standing of the other side.